Hello Antique and Garden Showcase friends, and welcome back to the channel. Sorry about the delay on Saturday. It's actually Saturday right now when I'm filming. It's been a busy week. It's been a nice week, so I had to make good of the time. The camera was just almost one of those things that got in the way. So I had to make good of the time to get things done, and I've really gotten a lot of work done this week. Weather's been in the low to mid 70s, low 80s, no humidity, no rain, no wind. It's been perfect all week long. So it's been one of those weeks to play catch up on a lot of different things. And I'm going to take you around and kind of show you what's new and what's all fixed up and what's ready for 2023. First thing, I did get the planters on the wall finished up. I've got all the liners in. I've got dirt and some ready to go. And the one that was giving me fits is up here on the end. It still looks a little strange because it's got that piece in there. I've not got it painted, but I did get a spacer put in it to make it 30 inches instead of 29. Now, it's not perfect, and I don't plan for it to be perfect. It's just going to be usable, and flowers will cover all that up at some point. Just as long as it's functional, that's all I care about. Someday, maybe I'll find another one that actually works a little bit better. But anyway, this was the reproduction one that I discovered was made in Mexico in that video earlier. So those are on the wall. They're getting ready to be planted. I've got, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one lantana in the center of each one, and that's going to be flanked by two of the Supertunia Priscillas. So we're going to have that purple and red combination going down the wall. Now, I did get the Supertunia Persimmon, and I'm thinking formal garden out here in between. That's the initial thought. That may change. I don't know just yet. I just bought them because I liked them and I was looking for them. I'm actually looking for that Gora plant that, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a Proven Winners. I want to do one of those planters with the persimmon around it. And that might even be the big ones that are out here. I did a grouping here. Normally I do a pot and then I do plantings around it, but I decided to do, let me go on the other side, I think you can see better. I decided to do a grouping of pots around here instead of just the plantings this year. So I have my Vermilion Air. I'm going to do that, and then I think I'm going to do a kind of a creamy marigold around this and that little window. Now this little window is the one I'm talking about with Gora and the persimmon, maybe in this, because they kind of look like they come up with butterflies on them. Another thought, I might do cannas here. I just don't know yet. I think these are going to be some of my caladiums that I have in the coming up under grow lights right now, and they are breaking ground, so that's great. Noticed that the other day. Same window here. I think I'm going to do marigolds right there around the Vermilion Air. That's my hummingbird attractor, which I talked about, and they are growing and doing really well so far. They've had some great weather this week to get established. The other project was getting all the urns in the front yard this week taken apart, cleaned down, and repainted. So they're all, this one's even been re-leveled on the base. The daffodils are seeing better days now. And this bed, one thing about it is I'm having winter burn problems with two boxwoods in here. And this one looks like it might live. I mean, it's got some green, but it's got some really ugly dead spots too. So I'm either have to cut a lot of it back and hope that it comes out or replace it. This one over here I had to replace last year, but the winter, see, we had about 3 nights that were below -5 degrees consistently with wind, and it did a lot of damage. This one I just don't have much hope for. I know this is going to be on the replace list. This one got hit pretty hard up here, but I trimmed it out today. You can tell I've trimmed all the bushes. This one looks a little bit better. There's green in there, and I think it's going to make it. It's just going to take some time to flush back out. But these urns as well have been repainted. I did not do those because they're protected. These trees have been all redone and trimmed today. If you can tell, I'm out of breath. I've been busy out here. You know, the cone boxwood's been redone. And one of the biggest things is the little gem magnolias. They defoliated from winter. That was winter burned. A lot of people say, oh, they're dead. No, they're not dead. They're coming out very, very well. You can see new bud growth right there. I took the time They said now was the best time to trim them, so I got them down below the roof line. I got them reshaped on both ends, so everything has been cleaned up today, which is great. And now I am tired. In addition to all that fun stuff, to start the day out today, I actually hooked up the new trailer I bought last year to the car. I said I'm going to get mulch because it looked like the mulch at my local store was running out fairly quickly. And if I know them well, I know that sometimes they don't restock, and sometimes I have to go to the neighboring larger town to get stuff. And I thought, I don't want to be dealing with that. I can leave it undercover in this trailer for now, if I have to, for a while, until I get to it. So here's what I got into today. As you can see, the trailer is only slightly full of mulch. I managed to get a lot of cedar mulch blend, which I use around the house. I always use cedar mulch blend around the house because it's a natural deterrent for bugs. I want to bump that camera back a little bit there. And then in other places, I use a no-float cypress, especially on this garden out here with the driveway island. It kind of bonds that together, holds that together. Also on this hillside, I use no-float cypress out there. But right around the perimeter of the house, I always use cedar. So I got several bags of cedar. I think there's 35 bags of cypress blend in here. And then somewhere over in there, I'm going to take out that tree in the front yard, the weeping cherry. It's going to go. It's just becoming overgrown and unruly to deal with. And I've got some topsoil and things to fix that in there. So the trailer is packed. Well, it's definitely springtime around here. I've been working hard on the yard too. Not only just the trees and the trimming and whatever else, but the grass itself, needed a lot of work, and I've been giving it the attention it deserves too. You can probably hear all these birds singing. I think cardinals are trying to nest in some of the spruce trees around here, and they have sang all day long, along with the robins. So it's kind of a pleasant sound, but enough's enough. They need to knock it off tonight while I've got the camera on anyway. But anyway, the dogwoods are in full bloom now, and that's always a pretty time. I love the blooms of these. White ones are pretty much native to here. You see those around in the mountainous areas and whatever. And I talked about those a little bit on the spring video that I had in Berea around Boone Tavern. But these are here on the hillside garden. And then I've got a horse chestnut that we started from seeds a few years ago that's coming out. These bloom really pretty pink blooms when they get established. Has a funny little leaf to it. And then there's also a pink dogwood here as well. So you can hear I hear a cardinal over there. He's just feet from me. There he is again. I think they're a little disturbed for me being out here, so I'm going to walk on this way. You can tell the backyard has really come back together. This was looking really rough, if you remember in previous photos. It had the big brown patches and whatever else, so I've started the process of getting rid of the zoysia grass, and it's been overseeded, so all of this has come back in as fescue. Now I've noticed the zoysia starting to grow, and it likes to choke out the fescue, but my plan is to hit it with that spray, that Bermuda grass spray, to get rid of it here in just a few weeks, so it doesn't choke out this fescue, which is starting to look really nice. There's some weedy spots here, but that's been taken care of too. But it's almost like walking on a large carpet right now. It feels really good underfoot. It's the best it's been in quite a while. Along the back of the kitchen garden fence, the peonies are up. They're starting to bud. I can't remember what color I put where, but there's one at each fence post now. So I moved those last year and changed this around quite a bit. So each clump looks like I see budding on every one, so that's good. At least I'll know what colors are where this year. There's a nice bud on that one. Some hollyhocks I got free from a nursery last year for buying so much. They gave me a free gift, and that was from them, so I got that planted. More peonies, irises and things, some lilies, a still bee. Bleeding heart on this side where it's a little bit more shaded. My little miniature roses I had to cut back, but they're coming back. And then on up through here, kind of more of the same, some roses, some bleeding hearts. I have an oak leaf hydrangea. I need to get my dead blooms trimmed off of there. Now I've not got to mulching, but we have got cleaned up around this side, so this is ready to be mulched. My ginormous Proven Winners lily. And then back to the front of the house. We did get all of the magnolias trimmed. Everything looks so much more tidy and cleaned up and ready for springtime. I have not turned on the drip system here yet. I'm still waiting. There's one night that's going to be in the mid to upper 30s, so I'm just kind of waiting that night out. I think that's Monday. So once we get past that, I think we're home free. It's looking pretty good that more of the outside systems and things can be turned on and kind of automate things. Right now, whatever I have planted in pots, I can yank and put back in the garage and just keep overnight if I have to, if I think it's going to get that bad. Let's go take a look at the kitchen garden and a couple of things that are coming up back here too. The best thing out in the kitchen garden is that the potatoes are up and starting to come up out of the ground. You can see those now. So by the end of June, these should be ready to harvest. And I did get my little basil planted that I bought at the Berea College farm store the other day at their greenhouse. And it's looking really good, so I'm anxious to have this for summer cooking. And under the grow lights here in the garage, you can see that the caladiums are starting to, I call that, my word is candling, little candles coming up out of there. But yeah, they're starting to show growth in pretty much all the different places around here. I see some of this is red ruffles. So red ruffles has sprung up today. You can kind of see those under there. That's what they look like when they start to come up. They sit for the longest time and you think, oh, they're not going to do anything, but yeah, they will. And those little shoots come out, you'll soon see some pretty leaves. That one's clowning around that really pretty big shade one I had last year. So thinking about using it on the front porch arns. Got a few seedlings started down here, different things, some status, tomatoes, and marigolds in there. So a lot of good things coming up there that'll be planted out soon. Well, that is where I'm going to wrap up a long day of cleanup and maintenance around here. And I hope you've seen some things that you like on here. Like, comment, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. Also, check out the website at www.antiqueandgardenshowcase.com. Thanks for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. See you in the next one. Bye.